Cold weather, boys.
Cold weather.
You know what that means?
My throat hurts.
Football season.
Throat hurts. Oh, I had that. Yeah, you're probably getting what I just went through.
I have it.
My nose is all cracked from being cold and dry.
Well, I was thinking snowboarding, but you guys really had to put a damper on the beginning of this podcast. Damn, you guys really brought it down.
Well, I went snowboarding 2 days ago, and I think that's why my throat hurts. Or you told me it's a sickness.
You still go.
How's your tailbone?
Yeah, I had that.
That feels not bad.
How's your shin muscles?
They're good.
Sweet.
It's
They're
all
not bad.
It's actually my hamstrings.
Oh.
It's always like my knee tendons and my hamstrings.
Were you working on
I haven't mastered now.
You haven't mastered now.
Yeah.
Did you fall down the hill at all?
No,
you just fell forward.
I only fell one time, and it was because I hit an ice patch when I was going too fast.
See.
Tried to stop, and the ice, right on my tailbone.
On your face. Oh, right on your tailbone.
Tailbone. That's when it hurt. That was the only time I hurt my tailbone because it went tailbone, head, goggles flew off, helmet.
Oh man, you were concussed.
I didn't know you had a helmet.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, that's good.
It's probably a good idea.
Yeah. Well, we going. Cody, you want to go snowboarding on Sunday? We go snowboarding on Sunday. Holiday Valley.
That's a long trip.
That's a long trip. Yeah.
I'll go to Peak.
Yeah, we're gonna go in the morning, and before these NFL games start. Well, we're gonna miss the first one, but that's Broncos Bills, right? On Sunday.
Yes.
So.
Broncos Bills.
Bo Nix.
I'll think about it.
Might get shafted.
I'll think about it because I had more fun at my house. What I was doing in the snow was in my side-by-side doing donuts in the field.
That's fair. Don't have to pay for that.
No.
Don't have to pay to go somewhere for that.
No.
Well, hopefully we don't lose video either because I'm working new phone.
Let's keep an eye on that.
I'm hoping the camera quality looks at least a little bit better. If you guys are a real one, as I've said, you guys know our camera quality is always ass.
Yeah.
But it's slightly less ass.
Shite.
It's like a good ass. It's like a good smelling ass.
Shite!
It's like you took some potpourri and shoved it up your ass. It's like still an ass, but it
smells
better.
better.
It smells better. Yeah.
That was potpourri.
It's like dried.
It's a mix of dried leaves and
pine
fruits
cones,
and
fruits.
pine cones. And
So you have
it's
a natural
scented.
smelling ass.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. It's all natural.
A little fruity.
I can get behind that.
Yeah. That's the camera quality right now, and we had to do the old restart the computer, and hasn't blacked out yet, so it's good. It's good.
Yep.
But Happy New Year's, boys. Happy New Year.
Yeah, Happy New Year.
Boys. We went to the Steelers game.
We did. The Lurs game.
I was drunk. I don't know if you guys were drunk, but I was drunk when I went there.
I mean, you'll have that.
Yeah.
We went to the tailgate.
Yeah.
We went to the Red Lots and did some tailgating, and it was a good time. First time ever doing that, and your guys' first time at Heinz, Acrisure. That's the right name. Yeah, it's a good time. I mean, of course the Steelers lost, but we probably all expected that going in.
Solid streak of 4 losses they're on right now.
Yeah.
I don't really know. I've been trying to brainstorm here while we've been talking and rambling and doing what we usually do to start out the podcast. What intro music? I don't know what. Because we could hit him with the "Here we go." I don't know. I don't know if that works very well right now.
No, I don't know.
I don't think Pittsburgh's going to the Super Bowl.
They need more than a "Here we go."
They do need more than that. Here we go.
A swift kick in the ass is what they need.
That's what they need. You're right.
Like they need that Toby Keith. Like I'll stick a boot in your ass. That's the American way.
Yeah. They need some for Manny Brothers.
For Manny Brothers. Yeah.
But
that's up
New
in
York
Canada.
by
Kesha and someone else.
Jay-Z, I thought it was.
Yeah.
Concrete
We don't know it though.
jungles, snow slopes, and ski resorts. Yeah, there's a few hills up there to ski down.
You're in New York.
Lots of snow right near Buffalo, where the Bills go.
You're in
New York,
New York, New York. Yeah, that's good enough.
Their pizza stinks. Wait, what? Oh, okay, welcome back to Last Stop Sports Talk. This is now episode 65, and we're going to be talking college football playoff quarterfinals. That was reviewing NFL Week 18, and some Chris Collinsworth Glaze, as we always do after talking about football. I'm here with Kean Kropp, Carson Kropp. I'm Cody Kropp. 3 brothers today.
Brothers.
Well, we're brothers. We're not brothers.
Yeah.
We're brothers.
Very true.
3 brothers.
We are hard R's here. Brothers.
let's get right into it. On that note, we'll start with the college football quarterfinals, talking about the Fiesta Bowl, Peach Bowl, Rose Bowl, Sugar Bowl. Let's start off with Fiesta Bowl.
Yeah, great way to start off the football weekend as a Penn State fan here. 1995 Rose Bowl.
Absolutely.
So
we were partying when this game was going on.
Yeah.
It
Were you
just
sober?
added to the
I mean,
vibes.
you weren't with us on New Year's Eve because that's when this game happened. But were you sober watching this game?
I didn't get to watch the game, brother.
What?
I had to watch the Spark Notes.
Yeah, I was hammered.
I was
and
always
looked at it a
checking
few times.
the score on my phone though.
Right,
'cause,
yeah.
Yeah.
I was watching dudes tase each other.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's right.
Me too. But I would check in the game. I'd go in there, and I'd just walk in my living room and be like, hell yeah, of course
Yeah.
Penn State's winning.
Yeah. So based off of the game recap that I watched, Penn State's offense actually looked surprisingly well rounded, and Boise
Seriously.
State had to fight for everything they got, which leads perfectly into my takeaway of Ashton Genty had 3.5 yards of carry against a real defense finally. But I don't think this is going to hurt his draft stock at all because these were impressive yards. So he had 104 rushing yards, and 81 of them were after contact. He had 16 missed tackles forced. And
Wow.
Penn State's defense just out-athleticismed Boise State's offensive line, tight ends.
100%.
And Ashton Genty looks ready for the NFL. For my second,
16 missed tackles.
He was shoveling people off of him.
yeah, it was crazy.
Yeah.
And for my second takeaway for Penn State, I think they're still very reliant on their run game, even though they did look well-rounded, and reliant on their defense forcing turnovers, with the exception of Tyler Warren, who's been dominant and also looks like he's ready for the NFL.
Yeah.
So if you can stop their run game, you can stop their offense.
Yeah, Katron and Nick Singleton combined for 221 rush yards. Sorry.
Yeah.
Damn.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
Without those running backs, I don't think they're going to beat anybody. So
Probably not. But yeah, Penn State looks good. But Boise State, this was probably expected.
Yeah, I mean, it just comes down to
I don't know how many.
no big recruits. Like, the best athletes in the country are not going to Boise State.
no.
Right.
Like, I get you want good football players, and that does matter. But at the same time, you want guys who aren't going to be plumbers in a few years.
You aren't getting 4 or 5 stars like Penn State
No.
has.
Exactly, yeah.
It's just different institutions, that's all.
Yeah, it's going to... And as we get into these games, I don't know what they're... I think that the playoff committee is probably going to make some kind of change because all these teams with bye weeks, spoiler alert, they all lost. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. All right, Peach Bowl. Texas took on Arizona State in a thriller of a game. Texas beat them 39-31. This is playoff football, boys. This was a playoff football game that everyone was waiting for. Probably the most thrilling one yet.
yeah,
at least
the playoff,
in the playoffs,
yeah,
yes.
Yeah,
by
definitely.
far.
Yeah, so Arizona State, they got down, and then they obviously had that great comeback, and they took the lead in OT, but then Texas answered using really their experience. Texas is a way more experienced team. Arizona State's young. But anyways, they tied it up, took it to a second overtime, and Texas ended up winning, and Arizona State couldn't quite finish it off and keep up. But boy, did they put up a fight. Cam Scadaboo is an absolute dog. He's just proving that, especially this latter part of the season that they've had, and going into the playoffs like this it's kind of, I'm sure, upping his draft stock. But we were talking breaking tackles, and he was the same exact way, and he's just shoveling people off. He threw for a touchdown pass this game. But yeah, that ASU team and Kenny Dillingham, they just got so much fight in them. They're just all dogs out there fighting back against this super experienced Texas team. They are not built like Texas, and but they left it all out there. So some of my takeaways for this, like I said, Scottaboo's a dog. We all know that. Sam Levitt, he's going to be a problem. I think he's a very good quarterback, and he's proving that with his rushing and his decision making, and he really helped carry this team alongside Scattaboo. And for Texas, they didn't exactly look the best this game. They weren't the gunslinging Texas team that wallops on everybody. But their defense, by the combo of their defense, Quinn Ewers, the playmakers like Marcus Golden, and just their overall experience as a team is what came through in the end and won it for them. And they're looking solid and consistent moving forward to the next round of the playoffs.
Yes, they are. Cam Scatterby total yards, if you count his passing yards, let's see, 42 passing yards, 143 rushing yards, 99 receiving yards, all up for a whopping total of 240 over 282 yards.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Himself.
Yep.
He was at one point throwing up on the sideline.
Yeah.
Because he was exhausted.
Trying so hard,
Yeah.
Yeah, he was exhausted. Cam Scatterby this season, his draft stock, talking about his draft stock, how far it's risen. Since we'll even just go back to early October, he was ranked 814th. Okay?
Wow.
Right now he's ranked 88th, projected to be a 3rd round pick.
Damn.
And the kid's got a chip on his shoulder.
He does.
He talks the talk. Like he's like, I'm the best running back in the nation. Now, obviously, Cam, you're in
good.
the nation
Yeah.
is Ashton Genty. He's not in a different country, so
Yeah.
sorry, buddy. But this was a very, very impressive season.
Absolutely, yeah.
Draft stock rise by Cam Scatterby, no doubt.
Yep.
Moves us on to our next game. Very sad for me.
Yeah.
Oregon. They got absolutely creamed in the Rose Bowl.
They did.
It was 41-21. Ohio State took that victory, and they ran with it. It was never close. It was never close. In the first half alone, Ohio State outscored Oregon 34-8. As an Oregon fan, I can say that I am very, very pleased with this season. Split the season series with Ohio State. Like, we beat them the first time. Now, obviously, didn't really beat them when it mattered, but beat them the first time still happened.
Yeah.
In the first year, won the first year in the Big Ten, beat Penn State, which felt good for me, surrounded by Penn State fans. But I felt like I knew all year, Dylan Gabriel's not Bo Nix. The offense eventually felt like it was going to take a shit. Because you lost a lot of pieces last year. You lost Bucky Irving, who now looks like an amazing running back in the NFL. You lost Troy Franklin, who, okay, maybe he hasn't sparked in the NFL yet, but he still would be right up there. He would be starting with Tez Johnson on this team and probably getting 1,000 yards right alongside him. And then, of course, you lost Bo Nix, the greatest leader on this team. And I'm happy with how the season ended. To go 13-0 up until this game was a very successful season in my eyes. Yeah, it would have been cool to win the championship, but I couldn't see Dylan Gabriel winning the championship. And Ohio State looked dominant on all fronts. Both running backs showed up in this game. Travion Henderson and Quinshawn Judkins will be 2 of the first 5 running backs drafted, which is crazy coming out of the same school the same year. Will Howard did what he had to because he has Jeremiah Smith. Jeremiah Smith, that freshman receiver, went 7 catches, 187 yards, and 2 touchdowns. And he had a long, basically screen pass, little quick out that he took to the house on the first drive. And then that was basically like a 3-play drive that he just finished it off with a long touchdown. And then it was like, shit. Because then Oregon went 3 and out on the other side. They lost their starting running back, Jordan James, to injury. That hurt quite a bit. Evan Stewart, I said that Ohio State hadn't really seen anything from him yet because he didn't do anything in that first game. Well, he got hurt in this game and didn't do anything in this game either. So it was just they got out fireworked by Ohio State. And out of the top 4 teams remaining, I think we can all probably safely say that Ohio State looks the best out of all of them.
Definitely.
Yep, for sure.
And it's going to be scary for Texas playing them this week. And then they're probably going to win and then go to the championship game. And sucks because I don't like Ohio State. But that's what's going on right now because they are loaded with firepower, and there's no denying that. Offensively, defensively, they're going to have dudes drafted out the wazoo.
Yep, for sure.
We'll move on to Notre Dame, Georgia. What a snooze fest of a game. This game sucked, not going to lie.
Yep.
I mean, I feel like we should have seen this going in because Georgia was without Carson Beck. So, I mean, whether you like Carson Beck or not, he's at least the entrenched starter. He's been with this team all year. And Gunnar Stockton didn't put up a terrible game in this one, but he did only put up 10 points, 234 passing yards, 1 touchdown, didn't turn the ball over. They couldn't really run the ball. They had a total of 66 yards rushing. It wasn't ideal. And then on the other side, Riley Leonard just didn't have to do a whole lot because they got a kick return touchdown in this one. Notre Dame did. So Riley Leonard passed for 90 yards, ran for another 80, and that's basically all that happened on offense.
Yep.
And now, I mean, we were talking about before the college football playoff ever started how Penn State is on the easy side of the bracket, and they need to be so grateful that they are now playing against this Notre Dame team that it still feels like they haven't been tested yet. Like, we
Yeah.
still don't really know what Notre Dame is because they don't have a conference.
Yep.
I mean, they beat a Georgia team without their starting quarterback and with a group of playmakers. Like, I couldn't name a single Georgia wide receiver on this team. Like, I don't know. And there's none of them that you can really point
Not
to.
a
It's like, that
standout.
guy's a difference maker.
Yeah, there's
Yeah.
not a standout.
So, Notre Dame, again, moves on. And they're going to be playing Penn State now with a chance to make it to the BCS National Championship. And honestly, Penn State better win that game or it's like a disappointment.
Yeah, it certainly is.
Because Notre Dame did not look good. Now, Georgia's defense is very good, and they always will have guys drafted because that's what they do. They're known for their defenses. But
Yep. I mean, the Philadelphia Eagles is basically all Georgia.
yeah, it is.
It's
It
all
really
Georgia
is.
Bulldogs.
It seriously is.
Yeah.
But another week where Riley Leonard didn't make any mistakes, so I guess that's a good thing. But he also didn't put up any great numbers. So we'll see how this semifinal game goes for Notre Dame going up against Penn State, who is looking better on both sides of the ball than this Georgia team did.
Rounding in form. Yep, we will talk about that. The college football playoffs, our predictions for that next round, next episode. So let's get into the NFL, reviewing Week 18. We'll start it off with the Cleveland Brownies going to Baltimore, and Baltimore just stomped them. This was honestly a boring game. Baltimore beat them 35-10, but I mean, what else did we expect to happen? I mean, they started Bailey Zappi. And then DTR made an appearance. And then back to Bailey Zappi. And that's all you really need to say. I mean, what do you expect against, like, the Browns are in need of a lot of work. And that's obvious. And on the Ravens side, they just keep rolling. Henry, big day on his birthday. And
31 years old.
Yeah, 31 years old now. He had 2 touchdowns, 138 rushing yards. And he's just continued to be King Henry this week. And Bateman had a big game. Also, he showed up. And Bateman has been showing up over these past few weeks. He was 5 for 76 and a touchdown. Mark Andrews also had a touchdown thrown in there. And Lamar, of course, looked good, but the Browns stink. So, Lamar rushed for 63 yards, threw for 217 and 2 touchdowns. So, Ravens roll into the playoffs probably feeling pretty good, and the Browns are probably in need of a major rebuild at this point, possibly coaching changes, and a lot of confusion. And I guess a couple, I'm not even going to say anything about the Browns because we know they stink, but on the Ravens side, unfortunately, Zay Flowers got hurt, so season-ending knee injury, so that's going to hurt going into the playoffs. But more importantly, Michael Pierce had an incredible, I'll call it a thick pick. It was so good. And
Oh, yeah.
yeah, there's a lot of good jokes out there about that, him going down early, but good for him getting that last game of the regular season. Ravens look good, Browns stink. And Ravens will go on to play the Steelers in the first round.
Yep.
Past 2 weeks, was it? No. Was the Tavondre Sweat pick 2 weeks ago or was it 3 weeks ago? Were you on? Yeah, that wasn't with you. That was with you.
Yeah.
Must have been 3 weeks
3
ago.
weeks ago.
Dude, my guys.
Yeah.
Big boys.
Big boys
The
getting picks out here.
Slam chunk.
I just can't believe that Michael Pierce caught that. I mean, he probably saw it coming, but like it looked like it was by surprise because Zappy, I think it was Zappy at that point, threw it directly behind his runner.
Who put this guy in coverage in the first place?
Pierce dropped into coverage.
Yeah, he came
What are
forward
we
to get the ball.
He's so amazing. He's so quick on his feet. So nimble.
Talking about big guy interceptions, you're forgetting about Luke Scott's game-winning interception.
That's
too.
right. On the Santa Bowl that we put on.
Santa Bowl.
Yeah.
Good for them big boys getting picks out
It's
there.
so fun to watch.
It is fun to watch.
They're so nimble.
More exciting game. The Bengals traveled to Pittsburgh where they beat the Steelers 19-17, and as we said before, we were at this game in person, which made it easier to see just how bad the Steelers' corners are. So,
Oh my.
yeah, that leads into my first takeaway. The Steelers are looking bad at the wrong time of the year.
Yeah.
But the defense can still hold up, though, holding them to 19 points.
Only one touchdown.
Yeah, only one touchdown, but the offense has to be able to do something, and the offense cannot do anything. On the other side of the ball, I wish the Bengals made the playoffs because they would be a very exciting team to watch, but the Stones didn't fall that way.
The Chiefs
And-
gave up, so they didn't get
Yeah.
in the playoffs.
So there's always next year for Joe Burrow.
Yeah.
We've said that too much.
It's true.
I don't like it.
Yeah, I've heard rumors that there's going to be some coaching changes in Cincinnati. There's no, official what that's going to mean.
They fired their DC.
Yeah, but, I mean, they need to do some – I don't know. There's got to be some reason that they always start –
Oh, they fired Anarumo?
Yeah, they did.
Oh, dang.
There's got to be some reason they always start slow, and something needs to change. And I don't know. Not that Zach Taylor's a terrible coach, but, I wouldn't say he's a great coach. I would say he's at best middle of the pack.
He's middling.
Yeah.
He's a coach.
He is there. Yeah. Joe Burrow is.
Boy, has he been bailed out by Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah.
This was an AFC North football game. I mean,
sure was.
Kept it close. Cold weather, some flurries of snow here and there, and just close games. Not a lot of scoring. Lots of defense.
A tight end was the leading receiver for the Steelers.
Boy, he looked good. Big game for Freiermuth.
Until he dropped that fourth down to seal the game.
I mean,
shouldn't got to that point anyways.
Yeah.
I would. At this point in the season, Boswell's been so good. I was so nervous to put him in that situation. That would have been like a 58-yard field goal or something like that in the cold. And I'm like, oh, Boz, I don't want you to miss. I just don't want him to miss at this point. Sure, I want to win, but
into the wind too.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, because he kicked one earlier that direction, and it definitely didn't have the legs that his kicks normally do.
Yeah,
but it was windy.
Oh yeah, and it was just being there in person. I guess more than you can see on TV. You kind of see everything. I guess where we were sitting at the corner of the end zone, you could kind of see ground level, kind of somewhat what the quarterback is seeing. Mm-hmm. Joe Burrow is just so smart, man.
Yeah.
I mean, we were seeing he's got a linebacker on him, then the ball goes right there. It's this isn't rocket science.
You could see right through the Steelers secondary, kind of like it was Swiss cheese.
Yeah.
Watch Jamar Chase absolutely juke out.
He could have walked and got over.
Oh my God!
Saw it coming the whole way too.
Yeah.
And Mike Gesicki.
Mike Gesicki was open all day long too.
Yeah.
There was a lot of dinking and dunking from Joe Burrow, but he did everything that was smart.
Yep.
Just made all the right reads.
They got the W.
Yep. All right. Well, we'll move on to Panthers-Falcons.
Oh, boy.
Another sad one for me, but I'm not even sad about it. This game was exciting, man. This game went to overtime, and the Falcons couldn't stop the Panthers, and the Panthers just marched right down the field for a touchdown to end the game. 44-38, the Panthers won. This was a slugfest. Start out with the Panthers. They're the winners here. I can't not root for Bryce Young. Mm-mm. He's so comfortable now. The NFL is constant chaos unfolding on every single play. And Bryce Young used to just turtle and take the sack when he felt pressure. Like Russell Wilson now.
Yeah.
Whenever he feels pressure, he just turtles and sorry.
Yeah.
But now Bryce is avoiding incoming rushers. He's thriving in these moments. The pressure grades since he's been the starting quarterback are crazy. He is the number 4 quarterback since he's been starting again, which is week 8. The number 4 quarterback in terms of passing grade against pressure in the NFL. Bryce Young is. He's been amazing. When somebody charges Bryce Young, he sidesteps him, keeps his eyes downfield, and then right where that rusher came running at him, there's a wide open throwing lane for 5'9" Bryce Young to throw through, and he's just doing it time and time again because he kind of needs that because he is 5'9". But I got to give some credit to Dave Canales here too because if Canales hadn't already helped Geno Smith and Baker Mayfield turn their careers around, I probably would give him very little credit with Bryce Young's uprise, but it's clear that whatever Dave Canales does works, and I don't know what it is, but Bryce Young it's like he's seeing everything slower now, and we saw this with Geno and Baker whenever they were with Dave Canales, and it's worked ever since then for those two quarterbacks, and I have no reason to doubt that it's going to stop working for Bryce Young because this guy, I love rooting for him. He's fun, man. He plays with fire. That one touchdown to Tommy Tremble in the back of the end zone. He threw it and then turned around Steph Curry style.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah,
that was so cool.
He's playing with
confidence, baby.
Confidence, and that's what matters here. So that's fun to watch. But Falcons, they lost this
game.
Oh
wait, hold on. You said he turned around like
Steph Curry,
which is what they were calling him out of college.
Steph Curry.
Steph Curry of football.
Yeah, Steph Curry.
It all comes back around.
It all comes back around. Falcons.
Oh,
they lost this game. Yeah.
Sorry.
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
So Dave Canales must have a special bench, because he takes the benched quarterbacks and
That's true.
Cletus's bench. Where
Yeah.
you just pick his ass.
Yeah, but it's like must be something special.
It must be. Or he gives him drugs.
Yeah, because like
Psychedelics, they can see everything.
Yeah.
Because I saw that some comment somewhere that's like Bryce Young got benched and then what's the name for coming back to life?
Reincarnated?
Yes, like reincarnated as Cam Newton. Like maybe not that far.
I don't know.
But like
it is
like he's
now.
a different person.
He is running now.
Yeah.
He ran for 2 touchdowns in this game, threw for another 3, 251 yards through the air. Yeah, and
He's slinging it.
Jalen Coker, undrafted
man.
free agent, looking good,
Yeah.
man. Who could have seen that? Who could have seen that coming? Adam Thielen at 30.
Five plus catches in the last like 5 or so games.
Jalen Coker or Adam Thielen?
No, Adam Thielen.
At 34 years old. Yeah.
Looks good.
He does look good, and it's just making it work. Miles Sanders made a reappearance in this one because
He did.
Chuba's done for the year.
Yeah.
He ran the
caught
ball.
a touchdown.
Yeah. He also ran for one, too.
Yeah.
I mean,
I was
Chuba's
like,
the guy.
Jatavian Sanders is not on the Carolina Panthers. I'm like, oh, it's Miles
Wait,
Sanders.
Jatavian Sanders is on the Carolina Panthers team.
Yeah, I
but-
meant that.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
not Jatavian Sanders.
Yeah, right. But it's just impressive what this Panthers team
Yeah.
is doing,
Yep.
and I think that it's good that they're carrying momentum into the offseason for sure. But the Falcons, they lost. Defense is terrible. Yeah, there's no doubt about that. But mark my words, I was 1 year too early on this Falcons team. This offense is going to be great with Michael Penix at the helm for a full season, and I have no doubt about that. Is he missing some throws right now?
Oh, yeah.
Yes. he
Oh,
is.
yeah.
But his difference-making laser throws are sensational, man. Yes, he's made lots of mistakes since he was named the starter, but he just makes some throws that most other quarterbacks can't. The guy throws accurate lasers like crazy. It blows my mind. Are they sometimes hospital balls? Yes, but they're right into a bucket.
Was it him who was? I can't remember. I watched all the games back, and I can't remember. Was it him that was just absolutely ripping it? Like there was one touchdown he threw or someone threw. I don't remember if it was him. It definitely wasn't Bo Nix. Not that he doesn't have an arm, but it was either Penix or Jaden Daniels. They were at like the 20-yard line, and he freaking ripped one to the end zone right between 2 defenders.
Oh, yeah, that was to tie the game against the Commanders. That was to Kyle Pitts. Yeah. That was right into a tight window. Kyle Pitts got clapped.
Yeah.
Earlier in that game, he almost killed Kadarius Hodge, but it hit him right in the hands. Like Kadarius Hodge was running. It was like a seam route. It was like a seam route right up through the middle of the field. He got past his defender. Michael Penix threw a laser right into his hands, and then safety collapsed down and hit him right in the face, and Kadarius Hodge dropped it. But
whoever it was, I just was amazed because they were getting hit. Like they couldn't follow through. So like they stopped it here, and it was
Penix.
It was like a Josh Allen fastball.
Yeah,
and I'm like, oh my goodness.
Like I will always take the guy who shows instances of like elite play, and that's why I like Anthony Richardson and still believe in him. This isn't Anthony Richardson talk,
right,
but like
it's not funny anymore.
But let me just say, Michael Penix Jr. has
Colts
started.
have found their franchise quarterback.
Michael Penix has started 4 games this season. Okay, yeah, Joe Flacco. In those 4 games that he started, Michael Penix has 10 big time throws. So like tight window, into the pocket. Jordan Love has started 15 games this season. He has 16 big time throws.
I believe.
I always have to take a shot at Jordan Love. I'm just saying. I don't see that.
Ricochet.
4 games, 10 big time throws. 15 games, 16 big time throws. I'm just saying.
If you extrapolate, that's a big difference.
That's a huge ass difference. I'm just saying that Michael Penix throws it into buckets that not very many other quarterbacks can. So I'm already confident in this Falcons offense next season because every playmaker is coming back. Even though you probably don't want Kyle Pitts to come back, you already got him for the 5th-year option. So, oops. But because of that, it makes me feel better that Raheem Morris is a defensive head coach. So now that he can relax, like doesn't have to worry about the offense. He can focus on the defense the whole rest of the off season. So the offense should be smooth sailing. So just figure out the defense, Raheem. But I'll say it now. Watch out for the Falcons next year. I know I said this beginning of the season, but like Michael Penix showed me more in those 4 games than Kirk Cousins' old ass did the rest of the season.
That brings me, if you're done, that brings me to my point.
Yeah.
2 things from me.
Yes.
1, I was kind of on the boat of maybe we should just keep Kirk Cousins in to finish the year off. Yep, I was wrong. I don't care that they aren't in the playoffs or whatever, and it didn't get them anywhere records-wise. I was wrong. They are way further ahead. They put Penix in there and let him sling it. 2, I never really talk about him, but he's been one of my favorite players for a long time to watch. Drake London, is an absolute dog.
Oh, yeah.
And, like, he had a huge game, and he's been solid. And it seems like I thought Kirk would be good for him because Kirk's he's a thrower. He's a slinger.
Mm-hmm.
But this year, I mean, he's had probably better games as he has all year with Penix throwing him the ball. And he's tough. He's one of my favorite players just because he's a tough guy and makes incredibly hard throws, and he's a big wide receiver that makes tough catches. But,
Yes.
The Falcons...
Their offense is looking good.
Bijan
They
Robinson
lost.
still there. Still makes incredible runs.
Bijan Robinson's still a top
Tyler
2, top 3
Algier
running back. Yeah.
as a 1-2 punch.
They had 537 yards of offense in this game, and Drake London had 10 for 87 and 2 touchdowns. That Penix to London is going to be alive and well for years coming.
Yeah.
And Bijan, 170 rushing yards in this game, 2 touchdowns. He's amazing too. But yeah, everybody's coming back. So I have no fears for next year for the Falcons.
For sure.
Commanders beat the Cowboys 23-19, and this was just a game of backups after Jane Daniels was taken out.
Who cares?
It was Marcus Mariota versus Trey Lance, and Trey Lance for the Cowboys, he looked so spry and athletic in the pocket.
He does.
And he actually made the Cowboys an exciting team to watch.
I agree.
Which is probably not going to do anything for him, but at least it was fun for this game.
Yeah! Woo!
And then this performance for the Commanders, I realized that Marcus Mariota was in there and he doesn't get all the first team reps. He looked good nonetheless.
He's
but,
fast.
Yeah, but this performance won't make Commanders fans excited for the playoffs. Just because, I mean, it wasn't anything great. It wasn't a playoff-worthy performance.
Well, it was a good win. I mean,
they
moved them up to the 6th seed, so they don't have to play Philly anymore. They play
the Bucks.
Which is a big difference in my book.
Yeah, but I just mean it doesn't look like the team's playing great right now.
Terry McLaurin's still good.
Yeah.
But other than that.
Yeah, but I think that so Marcus Mariota did more than hold his own. And I mean, he's been great when given the chances.
Yeah, yes.
But I think this team's still very dangerous, even though they almost did lose to the Cowboys.
Yeah.
Flying Hawaiian.
Yeah, but I hope something does come of Trey Lance because he never really did get a fair shot.
Yeah.
Got injured, and then Kyle Shanahan shipped him out for Brock Purdy. And then that was pretty much all she wrote for Trey Lance's career.
I was kind of hoping he'd throw a touchdown because I don't think he scored a touchdown in 3 years or something. Yeah. Someone said. I'm like, oh.
Yeah, just for the pure excitement factor, I'd like to see him get a shot.
Yeah.
Give him the first game of the year, and then if it just shits the bed, okay, you can cut him right there. Yeah. But for a team that is going to be struggling to find a quarterback over the offseason, maybe you know the best draft pick, QB draft class doesn't look great anyways. Give Trey Lance a couple $1 million and let him sling it.
Yeah. Give him vet min. I mean, at this point.
Yeah, seriously.
Let him sling it.
Oh, Deuce Vaughn sighting in this game?
Oh, he looked pretty good, too.
Yeah.
He looked explosive.
All 5'5", 180 of them. Yeah.
Yeah, very true, yeah.
He's very small.
Yep. All right, Bears beat the Packers to finish off their season. The Packers can't say they own the Bears anymore. The Bears beat them 24-22. They won on a walk-off field goal to break their giant losing streak. The Bears' giant losing streak.
11 games.
Yeah,
nice.
Pretty good. So, Jordan Love obviously exited after falling on his elbow and losing feeling in his hand, otherwise funny bone by the sounds of it. And then he was kept out for just precautionary purposes because they're already in the playoffs, obviously. So Malik Willis came in to finish out the game, and a combination of Malik Willis along with Christian Watson leaving, because Christian Watson unfortunately tore his ACL, done for the season, and the last combo punch of the Bears defense is what helped the Bears get over the hump and beat them this game. It was, I mean, I guess there was some excitement in it because it was close, it was back and forth, but at the end of the day, it didn't mean anything to the Bears except for some good momentum going into the offseason, which is they're definitely going to feel way better after this game and this win. Can at least see some promise, that's for sure. On the Green Bay side, there's probably definitely some concern now because Jordan Love is still up in the air, I believe. I'm sure he's expected to play, but nothing's official until we're recording before the official injury practice reports come out and things like that. But so there's concern there, and obviously Christian Watson's not going to be there, so that's one of their biggest pass catchers this year. And so it's probably a little concerning there, and a loss to the Bears for Green Bay probably does not feel good. So they maybe
In Green Bay.
In Green Bay, yeah.
Oh, yeah, Malik Willis also smacked his thumb on somebody's helmet, and he had to leave the game, too.
Yeah, so it's a little rough in Packer land, but in all honesty, they'll probably end up being okay.
Well, now you got to play the Eagles.
Yeah, so I guess okay is subjective because
Yeah.
their team might be okay, but playing the Eagles, I don't know if anyone's okay playing the Eagles.
The last time they played the Eagles was week 1 in Brazil.
Oh, Brazil.
They lost. Because
Damn.
nobody could stay standing. You guys remember that?
Yeah.
game?
Oh, yeah.
That feels like so long ago.
Yeah,
The
it
field
does.
was shite.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But, yeah, exactly.
That's about it. Bears are going into the offseason.
Yeah, there's a team here that I wish would go into the offseason. It's the Texans. I'm so tired of watching this team. The Texans won 23-14 against the Titans. Here, I don't even have that many notes on the Texans.
Yeah.
Here's what I said. This is the most mid team in the NFL. They only snuck into the playoffs because they're in the worst division in football. And it's not close.
Yeah.
Their
Yeah,
division
for
is so
sure.
bad. They're
Yeah.
competing against the Jaguars, their
Yep.
ass, the Titans, their
Whoa,
ass,
Mega. Yeah.
and the Wait,
No, you said Titans.
who's the last team?
Colts.
Colts, their ass. Sorry,
Yeah.
sorry, AR.
Yeah.
He's ass.
Their ass. So, like, you could say the NFC South is also pretty bad, but like the Falcons were fighters. The Panthers at the end of the season were fighters. The Saints,
The
okay,
Panthers
their ass.
scored 44 points.
Yeah, they did. So, but this is the worst division in football, and they only are in the playoff. I'm so tired of watching them, man. There's nothing exciting about this team. What happened to the last year Texans? What happened? That's a real question. I don't know. Because I've said that, like, we see this from, like, every Shanahan offense seemed to take a step back from last year, and I don't know what the fuck happened. It's the Dolphins' offense was worse. The Packers' offense is worse because Jordan Love was on a tear last season, and now he looks pretty basic.
Yeah.
The Texans, worse. The 49ers, worse. That's all 4 Shanahan offenses got worse. What the hell is going on? But so I'm really bummed that this team is going to be in the playoffs. But it's really good for
Chargers.
the Chargers,
Yeah.
who get to play in first round because they walk in there into Houston Texan land, and they're favored right now, as they probably should be.
Probably.
Because C.J. Stroud, they only played him at the beginning of this game to get some momentum going for next week because things have been so shit. Damian Pierce had a long run in this game, 92-yard run. I didn't know he had that in him, 92-yard touchdown run.
Nico Collins had some catches.
Nico
Nice
did have some
ones,
catches.
yeah.
Yeah, he caught the touchdown.
Yeah.
From C.J. Stroud.
Yeah.
But Deontay Johnson played.
He did. He caught a pass.
He caught 2 passes.
Oh.
Yeah. But so that's
I don't get it, man.
I don't know either.
And if both these teams, I'm talking Texans, Chargers now, are firing on all cylinders like they should be, it should be a good game. These feel like fairly evenly matched teams when they're at their best. Really good defenses, really good quarterbacks, and pretty mid-level weapons, kind of.
Yeah.
I mean, at peak form, you could probably give it to the Texans.
Right, but that's if Stephon Diggs and Tank Dell were healthy, and you don't have either of those. So.
Exactly. Now, I don't know. It should be a good game, though.
It should
next
be.
week.
I'm
But
sure
yeah,
it'll
as far
be a
as where the
dogfight.
Texans are at right now, I don't get it.
No.
I mean, I say right now, but it's been this way for weeks.
Yeah, it has been.
Yeah.
For the Titans, I kind of wrote this little recap. Whenever I was back, I was pretty fiery. But now the Titans did something that actually made the most. They fired their GM Rand Carthen today, which that was maybe like the most makes sense fire that happened today.
That was their best play of the season.
The best play of the season because everybody. It didn't matter if you were in the NFL, if you were just a fan of the NFL like us, who like just analyzes it. You can see pretty clearly that the half-assed attempt at trying to make a playoff run by bringing in Tony Pollard, Tyler Boyd, Calvin Ridley, Lloyd Cushenberry, Sebastian Joseph Day, Kenneth Murray, L'Jarius Sneed, Chidobe Awuzie, Jamal Adams, Quandre Diggs. That wasn't going to work. What are you doing? You should be able to clearly see that your Titans team is not going to make a run in the playoffs. Why are you bringing in all these old heads to try to make a run at it? You ended up winning 4 games. Well, that makes sense. So now they fired Rand Carthen. Thank you. That makes a lot of sense.
Finally.
The only one of those players who they brought in that's younger than 27 years old is Kenneth Murray. They're
That's a
all
problem.
27
Is
or
he
older.
26?
Yeah, he's 26. And some of these players they already gave up on, and they're not even on the team anymore. Jamal Adams has already had a stint on the Lions and got cut from them too.
Yep.
This just didn't work. So I think that
No.
something definitely had to happen. I mean, this was Callahan's first time with the first year with the Titans, so makes sense to fire Rand Carthon, who's been there for a few years.
Did you say it went 4-13?
Yeah, is that right?
No, 3-14.
Yeah, exactly.
You gave him too much.
Oh, my bad. Gave him too much. But they now have the number 1 pick.
Yeah.
Yeah, number 1 pick.
Congratulations, Titans.
And they Rand, get your ass out of here. You're not messing this up.
They need a quarterback bad.
They're gonna mess up themselves.
Yeah.
Yep.
But this team, as I said, needs to get way younger. Like on all fronts.
I'd say.
I don't know what kind of movement this was, but it was the wrong movement.
They're going all in.
They're going all in.
They tried to Rams, and the issue is they don't have Aaron Donald or Matthew Stafford.
That is
or
the
Sean
issue.
McVay. Cooper, anybody. They really don't. They Will Levis.
Yeah, and Mason Rudolph. They played them both in this game.
And Brian Callahan.
Yeah, they split drive. Will Levis, I loved the meme that I saw because the last throw that Will Levis probably ever had as a starting quarterback of the Titans was amazing. He was about to get sacked. He chucked it up deep, and it was about to be intercepted by like 2 guys. But his receiver ran under it, caught it, and ran it in for a touchdown because everybody else was still up in the air.
Waiting on it.
Didn't he like flex or something too?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, he definitely did.
And now that receiver is on the season. If you don't filter out any target parameters or anything, if you just go who's the highest rated receiver on the season according to PFF, it's Tay Martin by that 1 target, 1 catch.
Nice.
Oh,
he had 1 catch, 49 yards for a touchdown. But yeah, that's Titans are ass.
Yep.
Fix everything.
Yep.
And it all starts with the quarterback, who there might not even be a good one in the draft class. We'll get to that later in the offseason. We'll tell you if there's good ones.
Yeah, that's going to be tricky.
Yeah.
Jags, Colts in that whatever conference, AFC South.
Ass.
Matchup. Yeah, garbage. Colts ended up winning 26-23. And this was just another who cares game just because... who cares? I mean, these guys aren't going anywhere. So it did go to overtime, so it tried to make it a little exciting, and the Colts ended up winning after only scoring 3 points in the second half. Yeah, it was gross. But
Joe Flacco
continues to be a legend.
Yeah.
Carried this team to the win. They looked really good in the first half, so we'll just pretend like we didn't see the second half because – well, if you're watching the first half, you're like, oh, man, Jonathan Taylor looks pretty good. Oh, man, Alec Pierce is catching everything as he does. And, Michael Pittman looks good. Not Jonathan. What's his name? Downs. Yeah, Downs, he looked good. So the Colts going into the offseason, I think they said they're keeping their coaches.
Yeah.
And GM.
Yeah.
Which coach, probably a good idea. I like Shane Steichen.
Yeah, we'll see.
GM, that's questionable probably at this point.
Major questionable, yeah.
Yeah. So the Colts, at least they can go into the offseason on a win and say they're feeling pretty good, I guess, and try to work on AR some more and hope for the best. But they're going to need to do some work there. On the Jags side, Mac Jones, of course, he played again and looked like Mac Jones. About the only takeaway I have from them is that Brian Thomas Jr. is still a stud, and he's about their one shining moment going into the offseason, and that's about it. Maybe their running back room. I can give it to their running back room. It's pretty okay.
Yeah, it's middle of the pack, I'd say.
Yeah, middle of the pack. So, in conclusion, both teams have a lot to figure out this offseason. That's it.
Dude, are the Colts keeping Jonathan Taylor long term?
Yeah, they
signed him to a 3?
Yeah, they signed him 2 years ago because he was holding out.
They are beating the balls off this poor guy.
They ran him, 30 times?
34.
The past 3 games, his carry totals, 29, 32, 34.
Nice.
That's ridiculous.
What are they doing with this guy?
In a season
he's already had injury problems.
Yeah.
There's no point in playing him. If anything, you want to lose. Why are you not trying to figure out what else you have in your backfield rather than beating the balls off this running back that you need to actually be successful next season?
If history repeats itself, not necessarily with the Colts, but this feels like a Baker Mayfield throw it 65 times with a hurt shoulder at the end of the season for no reason type of thing.
It does. It's dumb. I don't understand it.
Yeah,
it is dumb. That's really dumb.
Yeah. Carson, I'm so excited to listen to you talk about this next game because you're a
boy.
guy.
The Patriots beat the Bills 23-16. It was also a game of the backup quarterbacks, but it just so happens that the New England Patriots have the best backup quarterback in the league in Joe Milton III, and with that, they earned the win, Drew Lock style, resulting in the 4th overall pick instead of the 1st overall pick. And the takeaways here are simple. So the Bills' success is because of Josh Allen, and they need him. As you can see in this game, I think all the starters played except Josh Allen. At least
for a little bit.
At least the offensive weapons all played.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the second takeaway, Joe Milton definitely earned himself a roster spot for next year.
Somewhere, at least.
If nothing else, because my goodness, is this guy good at football.
So you're saying they've been starting the wrong guy all year?
All year. They've been starting the wrong guy
rookie.
all year, yes.
Hey, Drake May went 0 for 1 in this game passing.
Yeah. I mean,
Stats.
do you see these plays that Joe Milton's making?
Yes.
He's evading defense. He's dodging guys in the pocket, getting out of the pocket, throwing lasers, dimes on the sideline. He can put the ball wherever he wants, whenever he wants.
He did a backflip.
Yeah, did a backflip on his rushing touchdown.
This dude's 6'5".
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, if you take out all parameters, Joe Milton is the number 1 quarterback according to PFF on the season.
Yes.
You're damn straight he is, because he's the best quarterback in the NFL. This guy's like Anthony Richardson if he was actually good at football.
Hey, Anthony Richardson's more
Agreed.
athletic, but yeah, okay, better arm on Joe Milton for sure.
Yeah.
Accurate.
Honestly, though, I was actually impressed. I didn't know
He looked really good.
I didn't know he could be that elusive in the pocket and so like fundamentally sound. I figured he would panic and like just throw picks or
Yeah, he may
take
have
sacks.
been against backups, but I mean the backups
Yeah.
are still better than any college competition he would have seen.
I was actually impressed with this guy.
He looked
3
really
big
good.
time throws, 0 turnover worthy plays,
Yeah.
He looked really good.
and an average depth of target over 10 yards, which is really good.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a.
Yeah, I'm a fan of his too.
Yeah. Talk about throwing lasers. This guy can throw
He
lasers.
was chucking it.
Yeah, that was a wow. Yeah, I was excited to hear you talk about that game because
Yeah.
Joe Milton is your guy for. I mean, he showed it in this game. I was getting notifications on my phone left and right, like Joe Milton touchdown, rocket, Joe Milton.
Actually, his one touchdown reminded me a lot of Josh Allen. Like the one where he threw cross-body, cross-field to the guy that it was like, what the hell, that should have been intercepted, but somehow it got in there. It was like the same throw that Josh Allen made to Ty Johnson the other week. Mm-hmm. He was like, what the hell, Joe?
Yeah. No, he should definitely be at least the best. He shouldn't be third string anymore. He should be. Get Jacoby Brissett's old ass out of there.
Get Drake May's busted ass out of there.
Yeah, yeah.
Whoa.
Oh, who's busting in his ass?
But Gerard Mayo got fired, so I wonder if the organization's still committed to Drake May. I mean, he's a third overall pick.
Yeah.
I mean, I wonder if he's going to have a shorter leash now.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I think that it's going to be – I wouldn't say it's an open competition.
No,
but
not at all.
Joe Milton's going to get to show his stuff because I seriously think he is going to be the next man up now.
Yeah, for sure.
I hope so.
I think so.
And now, I said to you jokingly the other day, I was like, hey, Gerard Mayo got fired because they saw how good Joe Milton was and he didn't play him all year. So, like, Mayo, get out of here. You didn't see this guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. But it was at least exciting to watch for one game, and hopefully he gets some more chances.
Antonio Gibson also looked good.
Yeah, he did.
He did.
He was making something out of nothing all game.
Yeah,
so.
this season has been a real
Cation on
career killer for Ramondre Stevenson.
Yeah.
Okay, man. Next game, Drew Lock did not win this one.
He did not.
Damn.
He
Couldn't get him a
lost.
worse pick
Couldn't
again.
stand a chance against Tanner McKee.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
lost to the Eagles' backups. It was 20-13 in Philly. Tanner McKee looked pretty damn good. 27 of 41 for 269 yards and 2 touchdowns.
Woo.
This was not his first touchdown, so A.J. Brown, who wasn't even playing, nobody had to worry about throwing the balls into the stands, is what I'm saying.
Yes.
There's no worries about that.
Correct.
But we'll start out with the Eagles because I heard this stat, and it's crazy. But every season in Philadelphia Eagles team history that they have won at least 12 games in the regular season, they've made it to the conference championship game. And every
Dang.
season that the team has won at least 13 games in the regular season, they've made it to the Super Bowl. They won 14 games this year.
Damn.
Does history repeat itself? I don't know, but
I don't know, Jim.
I don't know, but I think it could absolutely happen again. Now the Lions are I feel like the one team that's really, really standing in their way. But at the moment, this team is focused. Smart move by Sirianni to sit all the starters and show that they should be focused for the long run. He's like, I get that, like, it would have been cool to have Saquon get the record, but it does show something that, like, hey, I want you guys to sit. Like, we're in this for the long run.
I'm sure they were all in on it.
Yeah,
too.
yeah.
Like
And
Saquon.
And then an extra extra morale boost for the Eagles to still get the win, playing their backups. But for once, there seems to be nothing festering under the surface in this locker room. There's nothing trending about Sirianni in the media, which is good. Great for the team's championship hopes, but this team's talent is obviously so clear on both sides of the ball. It's, quote, it's all between the ears now, as our high school basketball coaches would say. It's all between the ears, boys.
All between the ears.
But for the Giants, is this run it back with Brian Dable plan going to be something that we look back on and say, wow, why did they not fire him after the 2024 season? That's my question to you. Like Matt Eberflus, we all agreed the Bears should have fired him after the 2023 season. What do you guys think?
I don't have a problem with Brian Dable.
Really?
I don't hate Dable.
Oh, really? Oh, okay. That seems like how everybody, like even the media is like, I've heard very little crap thrown Brian Dable's way.
Yeah.
Which is
I think it's because Danny
Dable-
Dimes is getting it all.
He gets it all,
Yeah.
But now he's not even on the team anymore.
Yeah, I know. I think he's
They
got to go
should've-
somewhere.
They should have kept him. They should have kept him as like a pincushion.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. All right, Danny, let's go out to the podium first and talk to them.
Like, boo.
Go before Dayball.
Brian Dable steps out there like, not as bad, I guess.
Yeah.
But I mean, I kind of get them keeping Brian Dable. He hasn't been given a legit QB since he got there.
No.
And he made it work his first year with Daniel Jones. But at the same
They
time,
got rid of his franchise running back, too.
they did. Yeah, they did. Yeah, that's not his fault. They should. Joe Shane should be.
Yeah.
We'll get to that.
Yeah.
I have that point. A few
bullet points down.
Let me. At the same time, if it worked in the first year with Brian Dable or with Daniel Jones, why did it stop working? Why was there no improvement? Because it actually got worse after that. I mean, Daniel Jones did get hurt in both of those seasons, but even before he got hurt in both of those seasons, it was still worse than that first year that he had with Brian Dable. So, honestly, personally, I think I'd want to fire Brian Dable and GM Joe Shane. Get that guy out of here. There's no way that Brian Dable has the respect of the Giants locker room right now, right? There's no way that anybody respects him there.
The GM doesn't, that's for sure.
Well, the GM is the laughing stock of NFL media because
he has been since before the season.
I know.
Yeah.
He decided to pay Daniel Jones and then let Saquon Barkley leave on Hard Knocks. This is all filmed, everything that he said, so he looks even worse.
Oh, yeah.
He went to a division rival team. We all know how that finished out.
Yep.
So I can't believe that
Poor
the Giants owner, John Mara, is letting Dable and Shane stay because now this just looks bad on Mara. Like,
It does.
I mean, I said how I might be in on the Giants next year if they get a new, innovative head coach and a competent quarterback because they do have a lot of pieces that I like on this team, offensively and defensively. Obviously, there's a lot of holes, but, well, it looks like I won't be in on the Giants next year now because I don't know if I can get behind Brian Dable. Brian Dable's okay. Joe Shane is I can't agree with what he's doing.
If they draft Shedeur Sanders, are they going to be the 32nd team in the NFL, in your opinion?
I don't know. I need to watch more Shedeur Sanders film. They're going to be super loud because NYC is a huge stage for Shedeur Sanders to run his mouth on. And I think it could burn down very quickly. MetLife Stadium might actually burn down.
Yeah, it could.
It might, yeah.
Which actually might be better for like injuries and stuff. And there's a lot of bad stuff that happens at MetLife Stadium.
Yeah.
I think that thing's cursed.
There is.
But,
Fix the turf.
But I don't know. This wasn't I wasn't a fan of this. Them saying, "Hey, let's run it back." I don't know if I can agree with that.
Especially because how many good coaching options are out there right now.
Yeah.
Freaking Mike Vrabel's out there right
Ben Johnson.
Yeah.
Aaron Glenn.
Yeah.
You could go after. I saw guys who were going after Mike Kafka. That's the.
Yeah.
I saw people were trying to trade for Shanahan.
Yeah, Shanahan. I've seen people. They want to trade for Kevin O'Connell, which I don't
Yeah,
know
I saw
why
that
would
too.
happen.
Who invited Mike McCarthy in for an interview? Or
Requested
Mike McCarthy? This dude's still the coach of the Cowboys, right?
Yeah, the Bears are begging the
Bears,
Cowboys.
that was it, yeah, of
They're
course.
begging the
That's
Cowboys for an interview.
Such a Bears move.
And then,
Yeah.
then Ryan Poles also said that he's going to explore his options with Mike Tomlin and someone else.
I'm sure, yeah, him and everyone else.
He's gonna send money and draft picks his way.
Yeah. Cliff Kingsbury's out there if you want to try that again.
He's a really good OC.
I could see that happening.
Now, Dayball feels like he knows ball. Joe Shane feels like a dummy.
Yeah, he kind of feels stupid.
Yeah.
Kind of stupid. I'd love a GM job. You can hire me, Giants.
Yeah.
On to the next game, Saints Buccaneers. Bucs almost lost this game. They were down until the third quarter. And I gotta say, for the Saints, interim head coach Darren Rizzi isn't likely going to get a look at to be the Saints head coach next year. But damn, this team of who's plays hard for him, because the Saints were winning this game 19-13 at the end of the third. Mm-hmm. And I know I've mentioned it quite a few times this season, but this list of skill position players is crazy. And Spencer Rattler, this was his best game yet, and that is a shot at Buccaneers defense. But let me just say who he's working with in this game. Jamal Williams, Jordan Mims, Clyde Edwards-Helaire joined the action here.
Yeah.
Those were the running backs there.
Yep.
Wide receivers, he still got MVS. Cedric Wilson, Dante Pettis caught a touchdown here.
Yes.
Kevin Austin Jr. The tight ends, Jawan Johnson did whatever he wanted in this game.
He's having a career year.
Yeah, 6 receptions, 80 yards. Foster Moreau, Dallin Holker made another appearance. That was cool to see. I know the Saints got crushed on Monday Night Football a few weeks ago, and they didn't put up a single point against the Packers. But they've honestly been right there in a lot of games since Rizzi took over. Beat the Falcons by 3. Crushed the Browns by 21 points. They only lost to the Rams by 7. Beat the Giants by 3. Only lost to the Commanders by 1. And then lost to the Buccaneers by 8. So one-score games for all of those,
It's
basically.
pretty unbelievable.
Yeah. It's pretty crazy. And if the Saints owner and GM have watched the dumpster fire that the Raiders have been this season after extending their interim head coach, Antonio Pierce, who now has been fired.
Yeah.
Darren Rizzi probably won't be considered for the Saints head coach job. I don't see them going hey, let's extend the interim head coach, because that's probably not going to happen. But I don't know what this offseason is going to look like for the Saints team. New head coach. I don't know what the heck they're going to do with Derek Carr, and this defense is so old.
And all their credit card debt.
All their credit card debt, always. But, damn, I have been impressed. And I'm definitely the one person on this earth who's been impressed by this 5-12 Saints team. I have been impressed.
You're correct about that.
I'm glazing them every single week.
I'm
like, do you see who they're working with? If I had to throw to MVS, I don't know what I would do, but it wouldn't be good.
MVS dropped a long touchdown. I couldn't believe it. He never drops those.
No, he doesn't.
He
That's how you know. He was looking too good.
He was, yeah. He had to come back down to earth.
Yeah, exactly. But the Buccaneers, they did win this game. They got the 3rd seed. They won the NFC South. And in the biggest moments, Patrick Mahomes reads the defense, sees open lanes, and scrambles for first down. Well, so does Baker Mayfield. But he does it with fucking rage.
He's such a dog, dude.
Baker Mayfield, whenever he runs out of the pocket, he has no thought of sliding.
No.
He's running at you full speed, and he wants to truck you so that he can step over top of you after the play to show you that you're not on his level. And
He's looking for contact.
He wants contact. 68 rushing yards in this game, and he has some big runs here. And as we've been saying all season, Baker Mayfield is playing so fiery. It's so fun to watch. The moxie and energy are electric. It's hard to count out the Bucs when Baker is playing like this. And shout out to Mike Evans.
Oh, yeah.
Mike Evans got his 11th straight 1,000-yard receiving season to tie Jerry Rice for the NFL record of consecutive 1,000-yard seasons. And he's only 32. Mike Evans?
Mike Evans? He's not that old. Because these are
31.
The difference for Mike Evans is this is his. He got 1,000 yards in his first 11 seasons. 11 seasons. So, he might be about 32.
Might be 31. Yeah. Also, look that up. And also, shout out to Jalen McMillan, who continues to ball out. He caught another touchdown pass in this game.
Is that now 7 touchdowns, 5 games?
Yeah, I believe so.
Wow.
That's crazy.
31 years old, Mike Evans is.
31. That's so he could definitely break Jerry Rice's record, maybe even crush it, because he doesn't show any signs of slowing down.
No, he doesn't.
He still looks good out there.
Yep.
Of course, my guy Bucky Irving completely taking over all the touches out of this backfield. Thank you, Todd Bowles. Somebody's listening to me. But what does concern me for the playoffs is this Buccaneers defense. They didn't show up for the first 3 quarters of this game. Out of the 20 Bucs players who played at least one defensive snap in this game, only 3 earned a PFF grade over 70. That's only 3 of them would get a C on the report card. This is the most comfortable Spencer Rattler has looked all season, as I said.
Yeah.
Yes, that's insulting to the Buccaneers defense. And now this defense has to play against Jaden Daniels first round. If you're going to let Spencer Rattler kind of walk all over you the first 3 quarters, Jaden Daniels is going to bend you over.
Yeah, he will.
Yaya Diaby is the only edge rusher that can create any kind of pressure, and he wouldn't even rank in the top 30 edge rushers in the NFL.
He wouldn't muscles. That guy's a freak show.
Yeah, he is. But Jamel Dean and Antoine Winfield Jr. was still out for this game. That is a problem.
Huge problem.
Zion McCollum, the other starting corner, did have 4 pass deflections in this game, which is real good. But Josh Hayes, who is filling in for Jamel Dean on the other side, is not an NFL cornerback. This guy should be selling cars. All season, too, the Bucs have struggled to find another linebacker to pair with Avonte David. Whether it be KJ Britt, Servassier Dennis, or JJ Russell, you guys have probably never even heard of some of those guys because they're ass. Yeah. They struggled. Does Todd Bowles have enough athletes on this defense to contain Jaden Daniels is the question.
They did it week 1, but that was week 1.
That was week 1. That was the first year of Jaden Daniels' NFL career, or first game.
Jaden Daniels is a full-blown man now.
And they had everybody healthy.
Yeah. I mean, it's tough to envision anyone who could slow him down in this defense. So I'm afraid that we might be looking back at the Buccaneers-Commanders game a week from now and saying, no, nobody could stop Jaden Daniels. So that's going to be quite the test for this Buccaneers defense for sure.
Yep. Chiefs, Broncos. The Broncos did it. They beat the Chiefs in a game that meant nothing. Yes! So as much as we like to see the Chiefs lose, this was obviously Broncos versus second and third stringers. And Carson Wentz slinging the rock for the Chiefs too. So can't really take much from this game, obviously. The 2 things I can take from this game. Anyways, 2 things I can take from this game. Happiness, because the Chiefs lost.
Yes.
No matter who's playing.
Hey,
so we can be happy.
First shutout of Andy Reid's head coaching career. First time he's ever been shut out.
Yeah. Take that, Andy.
Yeah.
Second thing, Bo Nix and the Broncos did what they should have done and just smacked them. They shellacked them. So this is what should have happened, and they did make it happen. This game was just dominance by the Broncos because of their playing second and third stringers, but the Chiefs, they're going to be well rested going into the playoffs because they rested basically all their starters this game, and then they have the first round bye, obviously, because they're the 1 seed. And then the Broncos, they have just a nice, clean, dominating win to clinch that playoff berth for them for the first time since they won the Super Bowl and Super Bowl 50 in 2015 is when it was. Which ends it ends this win for the Broncos, clinching the playoff for the first time since 2015. It ends the longest playoff drought after winning a Super Bowl in NFL history. So they have not touched the playoffs since winning that Super Bowl. So they can break that, and they probably feel pretty good going into the playoffs. I forget who they play going.
Bills.
Oh, yeah, Broncos-Bills. So that'll be a good test, first round. But this has been a great team to watch all year. Of course, Bo Nix is unbelievable, and Sean Payton and the defense and all these playmakers that he has. Cortland Sutton's still out there doing it, and that mess of a backfield seems to get it done every week. We never know who it is, but they get it done every week. But yeah, Broncos are probably feeling pretty good going into it, and Chiefs, of course, are just going to sleep for 2 weeks until they have to play somebody.
It's honestly really good for the Chiefs that they have a first round bye because this game, I know that there were other teams that sat their starters if they weren't going to move in the seeding. So if the Chiefs were say the 2 seed, they had to play next week. I don't know how you can feel good after this. I know that you were playing your backups, but your backups are still supposed to be professional football players.
Probably should have scored some points.
You just got your ass whooped.
And Harrison Butker missed at least 1 field goal.
Yeah.
So that doesn't feel good.
There's got to be some kind of morale coming out of this game. I know that our starters, they didn't play, but the morale has to suffer from this.
Oh yeah.
5 first downs.
It's like when your basketball team's they get crushed in the JV game before the varsity game.
Yeah,
exactly.
It's just the morale. It has nothing to do with you, but it's just the morale.
Yeah, you're
exactly.
Right.
98 total yards in this game for the Chiefs.
That's bad.
5 first downs total.
Their leading receiver was Nico Remigio.
Yep.
Yeah.
Who the hell is this guy?
I don't know. It's just it's good. I know that Andy Reid after a bye is always great and stuff, but you have to see now that if your starters aren't playing, you're out of luck, man. This is bad. That's not good.
This is real bad.
I know backups, obviously, but
they're still NFL players.
Doesn't feel good.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, you're right. I agree with that.
You can't exactly just tell him shake it off after you just got creamed by 38 points to a division rival.
You scored nothing.
Like, shake it off, buddy.
Yeah.
We weren't trying.
Yeah,
It's
we're
like,
fine.
Yeah.
I was trying, coach.
Yeah, that can't feel good.
Yeah. Chargers beat the Raiders 34-20. Herbert looks like he can lead a dangerous passing game.
Mm-hmm.
He threw 28 for 36, 346 yards, 2 touchdowns. And Quentin Johnson had himself a game. 13 receptions, 186 yards.
I think that's career high.
Yeah.
13.
So my takeaway, the Chargers look very well-rounded and are dangerous headed into the playoffs, and this team needs to get Herbert some weapons because Lad McConkey, Quentin Johnson, and Will Dissly are not going to cut it in big games.
No.
Agreed.
They're lucky they play the Texans.
Yeah, they're lucky.
Very.
For the Raiders, Aiden O'Connell probably isn't the answer, even though he does look like he can be a very good backup.
Yes.
Yeah,
That's for damn sure. He'll be a high-quality backup. But the blame isn't all on him because this game especially, but really the whole season, this team has had 0 run game. And that's been shown by the way they've tried different running backs here and there and running back injuries, but they still can't get anything going. I think their running backs had like 6 carries for 20 yards or something this game.
Yeah. Sincere McCormick was the best one, and he started the year on the practice squad, and now he's on IR.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's bad.
Yeah, that's basically the state of the Raiders. That weird, awkward silence.
That's what's going on in the Raiders camp right now, especially because their head coach isn't there because you got see ya, Can.
Well, what do we do now, guys?
Yeah, we're just trying to figure
Crickets.
it out.
Yeah.
So I think they're going to draft a quarterback because
should.
I think
hope
they've
so.
lost hope on Aiden O'Connell, and that was kind of. And
This year
I
was
think
just
Antonio,
a full-blown test.
Yeah, I think Antonio Pierce was the one that mainly believed in Aiden O'Connell, and Desmond Ridder didn't show anything enough. So they're probably going quarterback. And
They have the 6th pick.
They probably shouldn't go quarterback because unless one falls to him. But
Yeah. I mean, we don't know. I haven't done scouting yet, so
Nah.
maybe there is like somebody who rises up the draft boards, like Anthony Richardson, who did it in that draft class, which doesn't look
worked
great
out.
right now. Doesn't look great.
they should just take a Joe Milton in the 6th round.
Yeah. Maybe.
Yeah, this
They
year
should trade for Joe Milton.
Yeah, honestly.
seriously. This year felt like an extended test drive for the Raiders, or like a try before you buy thing for the Raiders. It was just nothing felt set in stone. I mean, because they have nobody. I mean, they got rid of Devontae Adams, and they just feels rough over there. So let's go to a more kind of weird game. Seahawks beat the Rams 30-25. As I should say, the Seahawks almost lost to the Rams backups, but they pulled out the win. So. Yeah, I still don't understand the Seahawks. I guess
It's a really good stamp on the Seahawks season.
Yeah, it does.
We won! They were playing backups.
Yeah. Oh, oops. Yeah, Seahawks, they got some things to figure out this offseason. But I guess it's good to go in with a win, and you do have some promising pieces, obviously Njigba, he's an absolute stud, and Geno low-key actually had a good year, probably one of his better years of his career, even though it didn't seem like it because the Seahawks, I guess, because DK Metcalf was not very good and Tyler Lockett was absent for probably 15 out of 17 games of the season, it felt like. And,
He had PTO to use up after all those years of playing.
Yeah.
He did, yeah. The Seahawks, I guess, it's good to go in. It's probably better they're not in the playoffs because it would have just been a waste. Might as well just go into the offseason and keep it moving. And as far as the Rams side, I mean, they almost won with their backups.
Yeah.
So they're going to be rested up, and it's good that they're rested up because they were either going to play the Vikings or Lions, and they got the Vikings, and that's going to be a tall task for any team, let alone this Rams team. So that's about it for that game. It's kind of a wash. Yeah.
Blake Corum broke his forearm in this
Oh
game.
yeah, I did see that.
Damn.
Yeah. He's on IR.
He was trying to be Kyron Williams too hard.
He looks like him. The decoys. They're so good with decoys, man.
This was a game of decoys.
Yeah.
Blake
But
Corum, decoy Metcalf.
That's what he's been all season. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, one more. This is what Seahawks head coach Mike McDonald said on if he expects Geno Smith to return as the QB. He said, quote, "Got no reason to say no, so I guess, yeah."
Oh, that's That's confidence inspiring.
I think that was a dig at Sam Howell.
It probably, yeah. It probably definitely was.
Do we have anyone else? I mean,
It just feels like they're stuck in the rut. Not saying that Sam Howell would get them out of it, but because Geno Smith, I will admit, Geno Smith I thought was pretty good this year.
He did, yeah, good.
Probably around the quarterback 11 to 15 range.
Probably closer to 15.
Yeah, probably 15.
Give him 14.
That's fine.
Sure.
I guess.
Yeah, but at the same time, it's like, what are we gonna do with that? It's like that meme of the monkey or cat. I don't know what it is, but the white thing on the stool, like.
Yeah. I think it's a cat, yeah.
I don't know, but that's
that's
what the owner's sitting in the locker room. The team walks in after the game. The owner's sitting there like this.
Yeah, pretty much.
That was Mike McDonald when he was asked if he's bringing Geno Smith back.
Who else is out there?
Yeah. Colin Kaepernick?
I'll move on to the Dolphins and Jets, another team who doesn't know what they're doing at the quarterback situation. That is the Jets. They won, though. 32-20, finished the year on a win because Aaron Rodgers at the end of the season for some reason turns it on. Yeah. Doesn't matter how old he gets. But my takeaway for the Jets, here's what I wrote. Oh, the Jets.
That's good. That's all you need.
Jets
because my first question for you guys, will Aaron Rodgers be back next season? Is that your...
Not on the Jets.
Not on the Jets? Okay.
Nope.
Should he be back on the Jets?
No.
Yeah.
Where are they picking in the draft? They should be in pretty good position for hopefully picking a quarterback, I guess. Honestly, they might. Man, I don't know how much capital they have to trade people for a quarterback.
The Jets have 7, right behind the Raiders.
It's enticing.
Yeah, but let me just talk about my takeaways because I don't.
Yeah.
If you're a Jets fan, you have to hope that the answer to like is Aaron Rodgers going to be back next season? You have to hope the answer is no.
I'm sure that's what they hope. Yeah.
You tried out the Aaron Rodgers friends and family plan and it didn't work out. Forget
That's funny.
That was expensive.
Forget that Aaron Rodgers tried to turn it on to finish the season strong. I told you guys this was going to happen. I said this before the season. Jets are probably going to start out sucking. Then they're going to finish strong. Aaron Rodgers usually doesn't turn it on until the second half of the season. He's a smart guy, Aaron Rodgers is, if he's not on psychedelics. Or maybe he's smarter if he is. But he's trying to use that recency bias on you. Don't fall for it.
He's a politician. He did think about entering politics.
Yeah.
He just got 500 career touchdowns.
He did, exactly. Yeah. He's trying to earn another contract. Okay, somebody needs to smack the Jets fans and front office in the face. Remember that you guys ended up 5-12. You're 5-12. He's 42 years old. Or he's got to be.
I think Jets fans the front office of the Jets, they need smacked. I think Jets fans have been getting smacked in the face for about 40 plus years.
Lay off on him. Buy him a shot.
Yeah, buy them a shot. They need a shot.
But it's time to move on. There is going to be no progress made if you stick with this friends and family plan. Because does Aaron Rodgers have friends? Yes. Are any of his friends young or flashy playmakers in the year of 2025? Absolutely not.
Honestly, probably his friend that's the flashiest playmaker right now is Pat McAfee.
Yeah, probably. He's at least flashy with his voice. He's fun to watch.
Yeah.
But that's sitting behind a desk.
Yeah, can't say the same about Devontae Adams, Randall Cobb, Alan Lazard.
I think Alan Lazard could still have legs somewhere. Not a flashy playmaker. But
yeah, but he's 29 years old.
Yeah. He's got 2 legs. Yeah.
He does have 2 legs. Maybe 3. I haven't seen what he's working with. Jerry Jones.
His name's Alan.
Yeah. Whisper that in
I don't know.
the bar.
That's gonna be.
He would shorten it to Al.
Big Al. I'm Big Al.
Big Al.
Oh.
You have to bring in a new young quarterback. Forget about the Zach Wilson fail. It happens. You need to try with another young guy. Your team is not as good as you thought. Joe Milton.
Joe Milton.
Oh.
Keeps coming back to this guy.
Yeah. Your team's not as good as you thought. You can't win with a veteran quarterback. You need a young guy like Joe Milton. I don't know. This Jets team feels a lot like the Cowboys in that both teams have some great young pieces that they need to keep. On the Jets, they got Breece Hall, Braylon Allen, Garrett Wilson, Olu Fashanu, Quinnen Williams, Jamie Sherwood, Sauce Gardner. That's it. As for the rest of the roster, keep any cheap veteran mentor. Anybody who stays on is like, okay, I'm not going to play you, but tell the young guys how to play. I'll keep you, but then bring in young talent to fill out the rest of the roster spots. Because I do love that core of players. Those guys are all very good players. I think this team is honestly, I know I just shat on the Jets for a good 3 minutes here, but I think this team is closer than you think. If they can just get a solid coach and a coachable, competent, young quarterback to build around. No more loud personalities. You're already in New York City. Everything gets televised. Just aim for coachable.
This is one of those things. Like you just said, what would you say? Coachable, competent, young
quarterback.
All right, you can only. This is one of those things. It feels like you can only have like 2 of those. Okay,
damn it.
So you can either have a coachable young. Okay, you can either have a coachable competent, not young. Actually, you may only be able to get one of these things.
That's true.
You already have coachable and young on the roster.
Jordan Travis.
I
wish they would have.
Forgot about
He was on IR all year. His recovery took a little setback, so they probably give him a shot in the preseason because they have the 7th pick. We don't know what this quarterback draft class looks like yet, but it looks like everybody's talking about right now is Shedeur and Cam Ward, and neither one of them is going to drop to 7. I'll tell you that right now.
Put Quinn Ewers in New York.
Yeah, get that bowl cut in New York.
Yeah.
I guess I'm an Aaron Rodgers fan. I think he could be back at the Jets, but I personally don't think he should be. Just because at this point you fired your coach during the season. Might as well clean shop.
Yeah.
Like you're saying. I mean, this is a good point to do it. You've got your young pieces still. You've got Jordan Travis, and this would be a good time to just cut bait, clean shop, start it over, because obviously, this little experiment didn't work, and nothing's worked in a long, long time for the Jets. So might as well, you got to keep trying something at this point to keep the Jets fans happy, because no Jets fans like what's going on right now.
No. I mean, I'll kind of say 5th round or later, those are the good draft picks. That's the sweet spot. Jordan Travis, this guy.
Joe Milton,
6th rounder.
Spencer Rattler.
Yeah,
exactly.
Kyron Williams, Chase Brown,
Puka
Puka
Nacua.
Nacua. Yeah. Well, I would trade away all my draft picks till the 5th round.
You go ahead and do that.
I'll give you my 1st rounder for 6 5th-round picks.
Boom! What a steal!
Yeah, it is.
Dre Greenlaw. Sorry.
It's rough to be in New York.
But a little bit on the Dolphins here before we move on, because they missed out on the playoffs. They needed a Broncos loss and a Dolphins win to move on. But surprisingly, I'm not honestly that worried about this team. Tyreek Hill may be gone next year.
He's gone.
Yeah, he wants out. He played 39% of snaps this week, which is crazy.
Ooh, yeah.
But, I mean, if Tyreek Hill's gone, that is great financially if they can find a trade partner. But you've got Malik Washington, Carson. Malik Washington.
He's looked really good the past couple weeks.
He has.
Ever since they cut OBJ, he's gotten more snaps, and he's done really great things with him.
He's a playmaker. Rookie out of Virginia, my guy for Carson and me. Get the ball in his hands. He's flashy in the return game or receiving game. He has looked very good. And get Tyreek Hill's old ass out of here, old expensive ass. Get a cheap 2nd year Malik Washington next year, and it'll be, I think, pretty darn good.
Once again, after the 5th round, I think he was a 6th-round pick.
He was. Just trade away all your draft picks. But then, Devon Achane kind of struggled this year. He needs a lane, is what I learned. He's not going to create much if he's contacted. He was 30th in the NFL in missed tackles forced, 27th in the NFL in yards after contact per attempt, which is why I was lower on him than guys like Chase Brown coming into the draft last year. When the offensive line gets worse, there's fewer open lanes, obviously. He can't create on his own with strength and shiftiness. Like this season, 3 of the Dolphins' starting offensive linemen earned a PFF run blocking grade lower than 65. Last season, 0 of the Dolphins' starting offensive linemen earned a PFF run blocking grade below 65. Devon Achane, his speed is elite. There's no doubt about that. But he does need a lane. He's not going to juke you out side to side because he's a track guy. Get him a lane, he'll squeeze through it because he's skinny, 185 pounds, and he'll be gone. But, if he doesn't have a lane, there's not much he can do. I trust him like McDaniel. He can get creative with his speed and his ability. He proved that he has an ability to catch the ball this season, too. He's very good as a receiver.
Yep.
I think that's them trying to get him out in space where he won't be contacted.
Exactly, yeah. But also this defense needs a lot of work over the offseason. You need some of the highly paid players on your team to get healthy, step up, and play well again. But the Mike McDaniel firing rumors were swirling this season. Before this year, everybody loved playing for this guy. And that he's fun, young, energetic, funny, innovative. So get the negative, sour Tyreek Hill attitude out of your locker room, over the offseason, and I have full
Tua healthy.
Yeah, get Tua healthy. And I have full
Again.
confidence that Mike McDaniel can get his guys to believe again and play hard. I just think that too much went really bad this season. Like just injuries that you can't really control. So
I agree. Yeah, I think he should stay. The coach, McDaniel.
Yeah. Get him like one more year. He's proven the first 2 years that he is a very, very good coach.
Yeah, give him another draft.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
see what happens.
Get him more speed. The team was too slow this year.
Oh yeah, too slow. Yeah.
Cardinals beat the 49ers 47-24. This was a whooping. Kyler Murray plays great when it doesn't matter.
Yes.
And this is a team with a lot of talent that's been underperforming for years now. Do you guys think it's because head coach problems, offensive coordinator problems, Kyler Murray under pressure problems?
I don't know. There's something weird about this Cardinals team, how they always collapse in the second half.
There is, yeah.
It might be a Kyler problem. It's always
It's actually
Call of Duty.
Seriously, it is always when the Call of Duty comes out.
It really is.
It happened this year as well.
Yes.
So at this point, he's already beat Call of Duty, so he's
He
just
might-
going
yeah,
off.
yeah.
Probably
he's done
finished the game
playing.
already, yeah.
Campaign's over, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. Their weapons are always weird. They haven't had a dominant weapon. The Cardinals haven't had like a. I could be forgetting somebody, but they haven't had a truly dominant weapon since Larry Fitzgerald.
Yep.
D-Hop.
Okay,
He's kind of old,
They
but
did
he
have
was there.
they did have D.
You had old AJ Green.
Yeah.
You had injured AJ or Marquise Brown.
Yeah.
Yeah, but doesn't feel the same.
Yeah.
You know?
They have a Trey McBride now when they use him.
Yeah.
Marvin
use him,
Harrison
yeah.
didn't do anything, but
No,
it's
I
just
don't know.
it's just there's something weird about it. They just can't.
it's like they
win
don't
games.
mesh or something.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
It-
Yeah.
that's kind of what it feels like. They can't really like simpatico. They can't get it figured out.
And then for the 49ers, they don't really seem to have the same dominant traits that they once did. So, is it time to start a brief rebuild, or are they just a couple pieces away from being Super Bowl team again?
I think there are a couple new pieces.
Everybody's kind of getting old, though.
Dre Greenlaw's getting old. Fred Warner's getting kind of old.
He's still dog.
He's all right. He's still
Yeah.
good.
Their line's getting old.
Yeah, the offensive line's dead.
The
CMC's
line-
getting old. Debo's gone.
getting
Kittle's old. Yeah.
Yeah, everybody's getting old, man.
I think they might just go one more season for it, and then they might rebuild.
Yeah, I think so.
Probably, yeah. Now that you say it that way.
It's not a good time to be a Niner fan right now.
No.
You got dark days ahead.
Yeah.
You got to pay Brock Purdy. Well, you don't have to, but they say they're going to.
Probably going to.
I'm sure they're going
Yeah.
to. Someone will if they don't.
Yeah. There's so many quarterback needy teams out there right now.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
We just talked about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. Niners are tough spot.
I think you have to run it back for one more year.
I definitely think so too.
It's
I
not
mean,
like there's a juggernaut in the division. The
No.
Rams play like a juggernaut at times. and
Rams
next week they shit the bed.
Rams are in the same boat. They have like 1 year left.
Yeah, they do.
With their core.
Everybody's getting old.
Yeah.
Yeah. The Cardinals, I don't know. I think Cardinals are like one or two more offensive pieces away.
I think it's
And
their
the whole
defense.
defense.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, the whole defense is you don't know a single name on there.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, Cardinals I agree with. The offensive side. I think they're only a couple pieces away because they got studs, they got playmakers, but they just all need to
Yeah.
come together for I don't know, to make it work. But yeah, the 49ers definitely feel more split right now. Like I think George Kittle's got some good years left. Ricky Pearsall,
He's coming on nicely the
Yeah,
last 2
yeah.
weeks.
yeah, he's coming on very nicely.
Ayuk
Juwan
comes-
Jennings really stepped up this year.
Ayuk comes back next year.
Yep. I'm not really worried about their running back room because it seems like they can always make a running back half work.
Patrick Taylor had a good game.
Yeah,
It's
so
like 17 carries, 109 yards or something.
yeah,
Yep,
that
that's
doesn't
it.
really. I mean, no one's McCaffrey, but like after McCaffrey, you can pretty much make everyone work as a formidable running back. Like if they get Jordan Mason back,
Yeah.
he's young
He's
and a
pretty
good
damn
runner.
Good, yeah.
And free, pretty much.
Yeah. Yep. So I don't know. I'm more worried about the defensive side of the Niners right now than the offensive side.
Yeah, I'd agree. This defense it's not like it used to be.
Bosa's getting old. Greenlaw. I don't care how old Fred Warner is. He's still incredible. Hufanga's still good on the outside. I don't know. They're in a weird spot. Yeah.
They are. They got a lot of money tied into a
A lot of
few
people.
pieces.
Yeah,
that,
yeah.
yeah.
Bosa.
Both of these nuts.
Yeah, they're in a weird spot. I don't know.
Yeah.
But what's up with Brock Purdy again? Like, he'll be back, right?
He's got one more year for free.
Injury.
Yeah, one free, but like his injury's obviously not serious.
Oh, I don't know. He couldn't grip
elbow?
the ball, but then after
Yeah.
the game, they said like he's fine. They say he just hit his elbow or something. He's
Yeah.
fine, but
So he's fine. He's fine.
yeah. Josh Dobbs didn't really look that great.
No, definitely
2
not.
touchdowns, 2 interceptions.
The pastronaut.
Yeah.
Okay, let's hit this last game here. Vikings-Lions in the NFC North matchup for the number 1 seed in the NFC. I slipped my brain there for a second. So, all right, let's go back a couple of years. All right, let's think about it. All right, in a couple of years, it's going to be Goff versus Darnold for the number 1 seed in the NFC.
Gosh.
Both teams are 14-2. Yeah. Who'd have thunk it? Who'd have believed it? Probably nobody. But that's what it was, and a lot of people thought it'd be high scoring, but this was just kind of ended up being a lower scoring, just a defensive matchup between 2 juggernauts, and ultimately the Lions ended up being the ultimate juggernaut, and the Lions pretty much factory reset Sam Darnold this game. They kind of put him back to default settings, and just Jahmyr Gibbs and the Lions and the freaking Lions defense, man. And they walked all over the Vikings. It didn't ever feel like the Vikings could get anything going. The Vikings made some questionable 4th down decisions to go for it that they don't normally do.
They tried to Dan Campbell, but nobody can out Dan Campbell.
Right. Yeah. So that happened, and it was a pretty unbelievable game that the Lions came out and did this. Like, a lot of people might have expected them to win, like I did, but I didn't expect this type of win.
Oh, yeah.
Just because the Lions have, like, 12 starters on IR, like 12 defensive starters on IR or something like that. Yeah. And that they were still able to stifle the Vikings. I mean, Justin Jefferson didn't do a whole lot of anything. Darnold was also missing throws to Justin Jefferson. They had pressure on Darnold all night long. They had a whole bunch. The Lions defense had a whole bunch of red zone stops to keep the Vikings out, and obviously not much on the Vikings run game at all. But that hasn't really been their go-to. But the Vikings defense, they couldn't do anything to stop Jahmyr Gibbs specifically, and even when it wasn't Jahmyr Gibbs, it was Jared Goff making passes to Amon-Ra St. Brown,
Sam Laporta.
He was just picking them apart, and they were getting pressure on him because Goff took some shots.
Yep.
But he stood in there and got the ball to Jameson Williams down the field. The Lions are clicking on all cylinders to go into this little bye week here, the first round bye for them, and the Vikings, so the Lions obviously feel real good going into this. The Vikings side, I think they just need to just review the game, watch the film, see where they need to improve, see what went wrong, and then just dump it and move on to the playoffs.
Yeah.
And just focus on that. They're going to be facing off against the Rams in the first round. So I'm not too worried about the Vikings at all. They just ran into the juggernaut of juggernauts and the Lions, and I mean this happened to a whole lot of other teams this season.
Yep.
And so I'm not worried about the Vikings. They'll be in good shape going into the playoffs. I'm sure of it. And the Lions are so freaking good, man.
Yeah, what a smack in the face.
Jahmyr Gibbs, 4 touchdowns.
Yeah. And Jared Goff even threw 2 picks.
Yeah.
Yeah. He tried to lose in the game.
He tried, yeah. But they
One really bad one.
still ended up winning by, 21?
No,
Damn.
22.
Yeah, math is not my strong suit. Shall we glaze some people?
I'm ready to glaze.
You want to go
We
first,
shall.
Carson?
I'll let Cody go first.
Okay. I am going to glaze Jahmyr Gibbs just because we just talked about him and because everyone's a little worried about, not everyone, but people are kind of worried about the Lions' run game. I mean, that you lost David Montgomery, your thumper, your main guy, and we're going against the Vikings defense, probably one of the best in the league that gets the most pressure. And what do we do? Jahmyr Gibbs, 4 touchdowns, receiving, running. Don't even matter. Gotta glaze Jahmyr Gibbs this game. He's been incredible all year long, and just to cap it off with a little 4-touchdown game to send him into that number 1 seed, deserving of the glaze.
I'm going to glaze Broncos rookie quarterback Bo Nix. He's been playing very smart and efficient as we knew he could. And when he's needed to win, he's won. He's got his team to the playoffs since the first time since 2015, like we said, Super Bowl 50 when Peyton Manning won it. And to top it all off, during this game, he had an impromptu lateral 20 yards downfield that Chris Collinsworth himself would glaze Mahomes for.
You're right. It was so good.
It was so good, yeah.
Yeah.
It was clean.
Yep.
I'm going to go with, give me Mike Evans.
Yes.
Broke or tied.
Deserving.
Tied the receiving yards, 1,000-yard seasons with Jerry Rice, 11. His first 11 years in the NFL. And Mike Evans is not like an emotional player. He's not one to like scream and shout too often. He seems very
humble.
keeled. Yeah. So, but in this game, he was like in tears after the game. I mean, that's a big deal. And it's cool that Todd Bowles put him back out there for like the final play. Needed 5 more yards. Gave him a quick little out, put him in motion so he could get easily open and got those yards. Everybody was cheering for him. It was a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful moment.
Yep.
Yeah,
well
great
deserved.
to see because this whole time in the NFL, he's never been a diva or anything.
Yeah,
which is kind of what Tom Brady was saying during the game. He's like, he's a very team over me guy. He's not going to ask for it, but Todd Bowles and Baker Mayfield kind of know that they got to do this for him. So
no, absolutely,
they put him out there.
Want to do defensive players? I think we need to do some defensive players.
Absolutely.
Here.
I have one.
Yeah, go ahead.
Go for it.
Trey Hendrickson.
Yeah.
In a game that the Bengals needed to win and all season, he's stepped up for the Swiss cheese defense, and he's put the Swiss cheese on his back.
Oh, yeah.
So this week against the Steelers, he had 3.5 sacks. And for the season, he's led the league in sacks with 17.5. Second place was Myles Garrett behind him at 14.
Yikes.
Led the league by 3.5 sacks.
That's ridiculous.
On a dog poop defense.
Yeah,
you're not going to get any coverage sacks on this team because you can't cover. So you got to do it all yourself.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
They better give Trey Hendrickson the Defensive Player of the Year.
I
Forget
hope
that the
so,
whole
too.
defense is bad. He's one player on a defense of 11.
Yeah.
Like, he's done his part way above his pay grade.
Yep.
I'm going to go with Michael Pierce.
Okay.
Yes.
Big man touchdown. Interception. Big man interception. I will always root for that because it is hilarious to watch. All 6 foot even, 355 pounds of him caught that ball.
Yeah.
And it was just good.
The ball kind of disappeared when he caught it.
Yeah, it did.
He just swallowed it
Yeah.
up.
He is like he looks like Wario out there.
He does.
He does, yeah. Big man, little
boy.
boy.
Big man, little ball.
Big boy.
Big man with a little ball. Go ahead.
Okay. I'm going to give it to Nick Bonito.
Yeah.
I'll give some glaze to Nick Bonito. He's been an absolute stud for a long time for this Denver defense and has really been one of those key factors for that Denver defense to get where they are today. He ended this last game against the Chiefs backups. He had 3 total tackles, 3 solo, 2 sacks, 2 tackles for loss, a couple QB hits thrown in there. He's just been all over the place all year long, especially later in this year. So he deserves the glaze this week as well.
He has been amazing this season.
He has been. All right, that wraps our Week 18 review and our college football quarterfinal review. So on the next episode, we will be previewing the next round of college football playoffs and some NFL, of course, as we always do. So thank you guys for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. Let us know your guys' thoughts, questions, anything like that. We'd love to answer them. Thank you guys for watching. We'll catch you in the next episode.
See ya.